Hello guys, it's Saturday today and the markets are closed. So weekends are a perfect time to backtest your strategy. So today I'm going to be backtesting my new swing trading strategy that I will be implementing on a Propfirm account coming next week. If you're not signed up with Tradingview yet, you can use my affiliate link. If you signed up through my affiliate link, I believe you get a month free. Unfortunately, you do need to have the paid Tradingview version to be able to do backtesting. It's not that expensive. I think it's only like $12 or $20 around there. So it's quite affordable to do backtesting, and it's really worth it to test out your strategy and your profitability before putting real money into the market. Okay guys, so I've got my trade view open. I'm on the gold chart, so we're going to be backtesting gold. So I think let's start from December, then we can test 1 year of data. So I'm just going to go back to year 2024. Let's start on December. Well, actually, let's move back a bit more. Okay, so how you will be backtesting, you first need to click replay. Then you will go to strategy tester, that will be on the bottom of your trade view. Then you need to go to replay trading. So it will basically look like this on your trade view. You'll go to replay trading. If you didn't move your chart back yet with the replay option, it will show you that there's nothing to be shown yet. So it will show you a list of your trades and your total performance, which we will get to in a moment once we start taking trades. So I just want to give you guys a quick run through on how the strategy basic works. So what I will be doing is I'll be trading with the Fibonacci tool only on the 4-hour time chart, and then I will wait for new lows and new highs to form. I will then draw my Fibonacci with between that swing levels and then basically enter from a 71% retracement. So I need to see a clear break of structure before I can move on to the next swings, swing high and swing low. So for example, let me just quickly run you through. Let me quickly run you guys through what the setup would look like. So I'm just going to get the circle out here. So basically you've got the high here. Then you've got the swing low here. So I need to wait for a break of structure before I move on to a new range. So we have a break of structure here. So once we have now broken a new break of structure, then this becomes my new high. Once I've created a new high, I can then draw my Fibonacci from the lows to the highs, and then I will basically wait for the market to do a retracement from that high to the 71%, and then I'll enter the trade, and then I will hold it until the next high. So basically that's the strategy. I'm gonna hold you guys through it, or let's go through it together. Okay, so basically this is now my new range. Then as soon as this high gets taken out, so you can see there's a new break of structure here. Now this low, or my low, will basically move here, and then the next high will become my range again. Okay, so now we've got a smaller range to work with here. Then I will basically wait for the next break of structure to be broken again. which happened here. So once the break of structure or change of character has occurred here, this is a change of character, then this high will stay there and my new low will be this position, where I will then draw my Fibonacci again and wait for the retracement. Okay, so let's forward test the strategy and you'll see what it looks like in action. Okay, before we move on, so the indicators that I like to use is the fractals. So I'm just going to add the William fractals to this. Then in the settings, I'm just going to change this to diamonds. And then the periods I like to move to 10, just so that it removes some of the noise. And this will help me identify the lows and the highs of the market. Okay, so we can clearly see at the moment we have a low here. This is our low that we're working with at the moment. And we're busy forming new highs. So we can just wait for the high, for a clear higher high to form, and then we can draw our Fibonacci and wait for a retracement. So we've got a break of structure here. So the first thing that you want to see is a break of structure. Then you know that this is your range, your new range that you are working with. So we've got our break of structure. Let's see if we get the retracement. Okay, so our fractals indicator just gave us a new high indication. But we're still breaking structure to the upwards, still creating higher highs. Okay, so at this stage we got a big retracement and we've broken a lower low here. So this is a good indication that this is our high. So I'll be using this high here since that was a big wick, but you can also include a wick. So the wick isn't really an issue. So just make this smaller. So I'm going to now draw my Fibonacci between these 2 points. And I'm going to enter a long position. As soon as the market comes back to the 71%, I'm going to enter a long. My take profit will be the last highs and my stop loss will be at the lows. Okay, so there is our first setup. So as soon as the market comes back to the 71%, I'm going to enter a buy. We can see that we are also in an uptrend, which is another confluence, which is good. So I'm also not going to do any risk management or capital management on this trade. I'll just be entering with one lot and then we'll see the result at the end if we are profitable or not. Okay, so let's see how this trade will play out. Okay, so basically we got triggered in there. So the trade is now active. I'm going to just open a buy. So if you want to set a take profit from your position, you can just drag your take profit to that level and your stop loss to your stop loss level, and then we can continue with the trade. So we can see we got some resistance up here, but we did manage a small pullback. So we're still in an uptrend, and we broke a new break of structure, and we're continuing to the upside, which is a good sign that we're not going to be closing this trade early. We can just continue with the trend. And there we have our first take profit. And now if you look at your trading stats, you will see that your first trade has been successful. We were in a drawdown of $9 and we made $104 profit. So this was quite a good trade with almost no drawdown. $9, we risked about $9 to make $104, which is very good. Okay, so now that this trade has been completed, we need to look now where our next trading opportunity will be. So we can see that at the moment we didn't break any structure yet. We are just at the top here. So as soon as we move higher than this level, then it will be considered a break of structure. Okay, so it looks like we found resistance here. So if we do get a change of character to the downside, we will be looking for sells. If we do get another break of structure to the upside, we will only be looking at buys. Let me just mark out the range. So we need to break this low down here to be able to start looking for sells. And we need to break this range here to look for buys. Okay, so we can see we are making higher lows at the moment, so the chances are good that we'll be breaking up to the upside. So we have to wait for this range to be broken before we can look for another entry position. This is also why we have other pairs on our watch list, and we won't just be looking at gold, since you can see a few days has now passed without an entry indication for us to enter the market, or our conditions or confluences to be met. I'm just going to drag this along. So gold has just been consolidating, and you can see that if you were to enter the market at any stages from our last entry position, that there was no really momentum in the market for us to profit at all. So we have just now broken the structure to the upside. So we have our break of structure here. So we'll be looking for buys again. So we're going to use our recent low as our swing low. So this is our low here. Then we're going to be waiting for a new high to form and then a pullback, and then that's when we will draw our Fibonacci tool. Okay, so we just got a new high here. I'm going to draw out my Fibonacci from the swing low to the swing high. And if the market does come back to the 71%, this is where we will have a buy order. We'll target the highs, stop loss at the lows. Let's see if this trade plays out. So if we don't come down and we get triggered in and break a new break of structure, then this will invalid the trade. So if we do break this level here, we'll start looking at new swing highs and lows. Okay, so as you can see, we just made another break of structure here. So I'm going to remove my Fibonacci, and this trade is no longer valid because we have just created a new break of structure here. So now this low will become our new swing low, and we'll wait for a new high to form. Okay, so we got our pullback there, so I'm going to draw my Fibonacci here. Okay, so this is quite a small range to be trading, and we have been pushing up with a lot of momentum. So I would at least consider 2 to 3 risk to reward, yeah? Or we can even go for a 4 because of all this momentum that has been pushing up. But you can take partials on your way up. I just think with this momentum the consolidation that we had, we will see a big push to the upside since we have now broken structure from that consolidation, and now we have another break of structure to the top. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. Then I'm going to play forward. So here the trade gets triggered in. We are in a bit of drawdown. I'm just going to enter the buy here on Tradingview. So I'm going to take my take profit up, and then my stop loss to the lows. Okay, and then we play the trade out. So as soon as we saw another break of structure to the upside, we can see there's a lot of momentum now pushing to the upside. So we're quite confident to leave this trade running. We got a small pullback. We didn't break this high here, so it actually has a support level here that's pushing us to the upside. There we hit our take profit, and we'll now see that we are $211 in profit so far. We've got a 100% win rate. We've taken 2 trades. Our drawdown was 9.2. This was in our previous trade. That's our max drawdown. Okay, so now that this trade has been taken, we can remove this from our chart. And we need to look at our new lows and highs. So basically this now is our new swing low. We have break of structures to the upside, so we can wait for a retracement and then draw our Fibonacci again. So we are continuing to break structures to the upside. Okay, we can consider this a small pullback. So I'm now going to draw my Fibonacci tool. Okay, and we're going to wait for a pullback to come to this level before we enter a trade. But since we are so extended up at the moment, we could be breaking through this. So as soon as we see a change of character to the downside, we will be taking sells instead. Sorry, so I wasn't actually looking, or my analysis wasn't right. This is not going to be our swing low because we have the break of structure. So remember, every time we do have a break of structure, we move on to the next range. So this is our low, this is our high, the moment. Then we move to the downside and we came back up. We had a break of structure again. So this is now our high and this is our low. Then we had another break of structure here. So this became our high and this is our new low. Then we had a break of structure again. So that moved us up to this is our high and this is our new low. So this is where we draw our Fibonacci. From this low to this high. And if the market retraces to this 71%, we can then look for another buy entry. So we've got a new break of structure here, so that's going to move our range higher again, and that invalidates this trade. So this is now our range to consider. Okay, so I'm going to draw my Fibonacci again. And we see we have actually already tapped the 71%. I do believe this was a news event, but let's see how it plays out. So I'm going to enter the long position here. This will be my take profit. This will be my stop loss, just beneath that low. Take the buy. Take profit, the high. Stop loss, the low. So we can see that this week we didn't close above this price right here. So we could look to also either take a partial or close the trade here if this does seem to be a big rejection zone for gold. Because remember, we are already a lot extended as well, so we can start seeing retracements now. And that normally happens from a double top, so we should just be careful of this order block that has formed here. Because we could push up into this order block and then now start to retrace back. We already see there's a big rejection week here, there's a big rejection week, and we just got another one. So I think at this stage, it will be good to move your stop loss to break even, to rather be safe if this is a rejection from this order block. Just move the stop loss. To break even, and then we can see if this trade is going to play out. Okay, so I believe it did our stop loss there. 3 trades. Yeah, so it did hit our break even there. So we are out of this trade. So now we can see we've got the order block here, and we have just barely broken above this price close here. So this could be a liquidity grab above this order block. So we need to see a clear break of structure to move on to the next range. So this is a break of structure, but the break of structure was only with a few pips. So I need to see it basically break the zone here for a real break of structure to take place. So if we can close above this, then only I will move the range. But for now, my range will be within the zones here. Okay, so we need to break this. If we break to the downside, we'll be looking for sells. If we break to the upside, we'll be looking for buys. Okay, that's a clear break to the downside, which is actually, you call it a change of character. So we have our change of character here. So this is an indication that we might have now changed trends and we are looking for sells. So we've got our new range here, which is our high, and then we are still looking at where our low will be. Okay, so we're going to wait for the market to push down, then push back up again. Okay, so here we got a little bit of a retracement, so we can use this low for now. We're going to draw our Fibonacci tool from this high to this low. If the market comes all the way back to the 71%, we'll enter a sell, and then we'll put our take profit just at this low, so that when the new break of structure occurs, we are out of this trade. Okay, so we just made another change. Oh, this was actually not a change of character, but this is a break of structure, so this means that we are going to shift our range. So we've got our break of structure here. Okay, so this now becomes our high, and we still need a low. Okay, we received the low here, and now we draw the Fibonacci again from this high to this low. The market almost tapped the 71% there, but we're not going to have FOMO, we're not going to enter a sell right away. We'll only enter a sell once it hits our 71%. Put our stop loss just above that high and take profit at this low. Let's see if we get triggered in. Okay, so sometimes this happened. So the market moved down, we just barely missed out on our entry there, and we would have hit and take profit down here. So I would say this trade is now invalid because we've got quite a strong support or order block right here. So we can see we have bounced once, twice, 3 times and 4 times from this block. So I would just wait for another break of structure to take place before I consider entry again. Okay, so I need to see us break through again. Let me just draw out our range. So we need to close above and we need to close below. So above is buys, below is sells. And we have a new break of structure here. Well, this is actually now a change of character again, so let's mark that out as a change of character. So now our new range is this low here, and if we do get a pullback, this will be our high right there. Okay, we got our pullback here, so now looking for buys. We're going to draw our Fibonacci again from this low to that high. As soon as we hit the 71%, we'll be looking for buys again. So you see, so we went up, we broke a new break of structure. We could have bought at the 50%, but that's not our strategy. We now have a new range. This trade is invalid. So I'm going to delete my order. So let us mark the break of structure out. So there's your break of structure. So now we can still consider this low, but I'll just move it here, and then we're looking for our next pullback. Okay, so this looks like it could be a high forming here. I'm going to get my fib tool out from this low to this high. Okay, so if the market pulls back to the 71%, we'll be looking for a buy again. Okay, that's our trade. A new break of structure was formed. Okay, so we got our high there. I'm going to keep this low because this is where the most extreme low were. And then this is our new high that is printed here. I'm going to draw my Fibonacci tool. Okay, and I'm going to wait for us to be triggered into this trade. Came back, so we would have been triggered in there already. There are highs, lows. Okay, so unfortunately, this is a trade we lost. Actually, I didn't enter the trade for the strategy. I just enter here quickly, so I just play getting too fast. Okay, so I'm going to enter the sell here, stop loss down here. Okay, I think it has already closed the trade due to the spreads. So that was a loss. Okay, so actually when you rewind your trades, you go back, it throws off your history. So, but we know we've got 2 wins, 1 losses so far. Okay, so I'm just going to continue from here. We'll just add it to the total strategy. Okay, so we've broken to the downside. This was a losing trade. This is still our high. We broke to the downside. This wasn't a clear change of character yet because we only closed with a few candles and then we got the pullback. So I wouldn't consider this range just yet. So we've got some support around here again. So I want us to see break through this low before I would consider a sell. And this is our high for a buy. Okay, so we didn't really break through. So this just becomes my new range to break. Okay, there we got a clear break to the downside. So now this becomes my new high and we're looking for a new low to form. Okay, this could be a low, so I'm going to draw my Fibonacci tool. We're looking for sells. So as soon as it enters that 71%, we'll be looking for a sell from here to the last low. Okay, and it triggered our sell just right here. And our take profit down here, our stop loss up here. At this stage, we can move our stop loss to break even. Okay, so we found support down here. So at this stage, I might take some parcels off this trade and then let it run so that if it hits my stop loss or my break even, I at least made some profit on this trade. Okay, so there it took us out on our break even. But if this was a real situation, I would have at least gotten some parcels on that trade. Okay, so our new range to consider, we have an order block right here. And to get a clear break of structure, then this would be our range right here. We need to break this low in order for me to look for sells again. Okay, so this could be a liquidity grab, so we're not paying too much attention to just right now. If it does break up more and close above, then I will consider it a break of structure. So like I said, that was just a liquidity grab and we're now pushing to the downside. Okay, so we have this high to consider right here. We're also pushing up on the uptrend. at the moment. So we might see another break of structure taking place anytime now. And there we have it. We have a break of structure to the upside. And we can now use this range. So this will be our lows that we'll be using for our next range. And we wait for the market to push up and get a pullback. So there we have our pullback. So we're considering this range. So I'm going to draw my Fibonacci out here to that high. The market retraces to the 71%. I will enter the trade again. Okay, so we basically broke structure again, so this trade is invalid. And we'll now be looking at our next range. Okay, so this could be a pullback. I'm going to leave my low right there. So this could be our new high. We have our break of structure right here. I'm going to draw my Fibonacci from this low to this high. If it makes a pullback to 71%, this is where we will enter a long position again. Okay, so we got triggered into the trade right here. Take profit up there, stop loss down here. So we nearly got stopped out here, but it wasn't really a concern because we have a strong support at the bottom. So that's why we place our stop loss at the bottom of the last lows. So we had a break of structure right here to the upside, which means we have momentum to push to the next high. So we do also have an order block right here, so I would be looking into some resistance at this level. If we do push below this, I will close the trade. And there we have it. So we did get a lot of resistance there. So I would have closed the trade here in real life, but for the example of this backtest, I'm just going to move my stop loss to break even and then let it play out. Okay, so we've got our break even hit right there. So in real life, we would have taken some profit there. In this backtest, we didn't. Okay, so let's keep this order block in mind since we did react from it. We need to see a break of structure for our next range. So a break of structure would occur above this level or below this level. Okay, if we break above, we buy. If we break below, we sell. Okay, so we broke above, so we have a break of structure right here. And we will be looking for buys. So we could use the extreme low down here or the lows down here for our next position. But since we have some consolidation right here, I'll be looking for a pullback from this level right here. So this will be my low right here, and then we'll look for a pullback on top. So we just got our pullback there, so this is my high I'm looking at. I'm going to draw my Fibonacci tool. And if the market does come back to my 71%, I'll be looking for a buy again. So this trade is invalidated because we've got a new break of structure. I will still keep this low, and now this is our high and our new range. So if it does tap into my 71%, it will be a long position. Okay, so we've just created a new break of structure to the upside. So this means we'll be looking for buys, and this is our low down here. Look, we're going to look for a pullback. Okay, we can see some pullback right here. I'm going to draw my Fibonacci. Okay, so we have got another break of structure, so removing our Fibonacci, this will be our new low. Here, this is our new low, and we're going to wait for a pullback before we enter a trade again. Okay, so it says I've lost, but yeah, it doesn't give me my win rate, but I've actually just lost one trade in the back testing. It should give me a lot bigger win rate than 25%. But yeah, unfortunately I did that bar replay and that messed up with the stats a bit. But yeah, if you guys want to do backtest the strategy, I'll do a backtest again. It took me a while to run through this now. So I have a Discord channel where you guys can join, backtest the strategy, and then just remember that because this runs on the 4 hour, you can do it on the 1 hour and 15 minutes as well. I do use the same strategy for the 15 minutes where I have traded before last week. I've also done backtesting on the 15 minutes. But go backtest the strategy and then post some of your screenshots in the Discord group. I'll be waiting for you guys there if you do join the Discord group. I can also answer your questions that you might have regarding the strategy, or I can help you become profitable. So yeah, guys, let's build a community of traders, profitable traders together, and I hope to see you guys in my Discord channel.